Dive into some more about the signs and symptoms of NEC. Hi, my name's Lisa. I'm a NICU nurse and a NICU nurse educator. Yesterday, we talked about the signs and symptoms associated with NEC, right? There's a whole slide you can watch. And again, you can go back and watch my YouTube video, which is about 20 minutes long, where we really go into it. But I had a great question about kind of what are the subtle signs of NEC. And what I really want to hone in on is the idea that a baby will have a change in their state. So if usually you are taking care of an infant and they kind of wake up during cares and they engage with you and kind of look around and like kick their little legs, and you're doing their cares and they're not doing any of that, that they don't really wake up and they're not really moving. Or opposite, they usually wake up, you reposition them, do their diaper change, do your whole assessment and cares, put them back, and they go back to sleep easy, and they're not going back to sleep. They're fussing, they're crying, they can't seem to get comfortable. The change in state, to me, is some of those biggest symptoms that we often overlook, that we say, oh, they're like a little different today. And that goes right along with the parents who should be the primary caregiver of this baby, right? We don't want to send them home with a stranger. And if the parents are like, hey, something seems wrong, then I'm concerned. Additionally, you need to be watching for those small changes in your blood sugar. The blood sugar can be a big indicator that something's going on, especially if it's rising. A rising blood sugar is often a sign that a baby is stressed. And a stressed baby, probably something is going on with them. And finally, I talk about this in the YouTube video twice. That's how important I think it is. And that is for your babies that are in an incubator on skin servo mode or whatever you call it on your unit, where the incubator temperature adjusts to what the baby's doing. You must be watching for changes in that temperature. If the incubator is having to rapidly warm up to keep the baby the same temperature, that means that the baby was probably getting cold. And a cold baby is usually more common for sickness than a hot baby. So watching that servo skin temperature. So those are my three things that I think are the most subtle signs: is a change in their state. So they're either fussier than normal or more lethargic than normal. You notice it or the family notices it. A change in their blood sugar, where their blood sugar rapidly is rising, probably as a stress response. And finally, a change in the servo temperature on your incubator. So their temperature, their axillary temperature might be great, but that's because the incubator has compensated for them. Those are three subtle signs I would be looking for as a bedside NICU nurse in regards to NEC.